Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from not the Commander's Core studio again, recording on the road, and yeah, let's jump into it. We've got Leori Sparktouched Hunter, a very interesting brand new commander that I think has a lot of potential, and Planeswalker fans out there are going to be really happy about this one. Superfriend's decks have a new toy, and yeah, so it's going to be great in the 99 for those decks, and it's also going to be great for Commander decks, you know, as its own. It's going to be a 3/3 elemental account with Flying Vigilance that is in Jeskai, blue, red, white, of course. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose a Planeswalker type. Until end of turn, whenever you activate the ability of a Planeswalker of that type, copy that ability, choose your targets for the copies. Yeah, hey, pick your Planeswalker, pick your favorite Planeswalker or Planeswalkers from the history of Magic. So yeah, you could do like a Jace tribal deck, essentially. You could do Chandra tribal. I guess to say any of them except for, you know, you need to be within these colors. So sorry you're not using Liliana, sorry you're not using Garruk. Yeah, you need to be within these colors, but still the potential for this commander is like, you know what, let's just build a ton of one Planeswalker or a couple of Planeswalkers and really take advantage of all of their abilities. Again, that is massive. And yes, there is a combat damage trigger requirement. That being said, hey, this is a low to the ground, vigilant, evasive creature that you can get out early, start hitting your opponents again. There's going to be one of your opponents at least most of the time that does not have a flyer seeing it through with this. Of course, you can, you know, also, you know, utilize other things to ensure that this gets through, maybe make it unblockable, etc., or just take out your opponent's flyers. But yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be able to get through with this, double up some fantastic abilities. I mean, and do some very, well, game-ending plays with something like this. So yeah, I can definitely see a lot of players out there being very excited about this helming a commander deck. And again, if you are running a, well, you know, Superfriend's deck already, this definitely can be a considering. I mean, part of the 99, it depends, I guess. If you have, you know, a lot of, you know, a wide variety of Planeswalkers, I would say, not really a lot of overlap, like not a lot of Gideons or not a lot of Chandras, yeah, maybe don't consider it. But yeah, if you've got like, you know, 5 copies of a Planeswalker, not copies of the same card, you know what I mean, different cards that are Chandra or different cards that are Jace, then you might want to consider this card because, yeah, you can get a ton of value out of something like this and do some pretty disgusting and gross things. So, yeah, on this episode, I'm going to take you through some cards that work well with it. Of course, I'm going to go through the budget buys, cards that are less than $1, cards that are within my budget, and then the price your picks, cards that are outside of my own budget, but might be within yours. Now, let's jump into that, though, the budget buys, starting things off with, well, just kind of like a, not a placeholder, I guess, but this card is just kind of like a, hey, you know what, proliferate effects are great with this. Great proliferation. A 1/1 rare deals counter to a player, Planeswalker, proliferate, and it's got flying as well. So obviously a combat damage trigger like this commander has, and we do have ways to use and abuse this trigger. We'll talk about one specifically here right after this one. But yeah, repeatable proliferate effects, of course, can be great for a Super Friends build, making your Planeswalkers even deadlier, getting to their ultimates even quicker, and potentially even copying an ultimate for some crazy plays. So next up, let's talk about Blood Mist. Again, this is a combat damage trigger, so we can definitely take advantage of this, and Blood Mist is a way to do that. Enchantment for 4 mana, beginning of combat on your turn, target creature control gains double strike until end of turn. Yeah, again, that could be great for operation if you really want to, you know, double up proliferate, sure, but more likely, yeah, let's double up our commander's trigger. Leori, just giving it double strike. Again, we can usually get through on at least one opponent with it. Hit twice, get that combat damage trigger twice, and basically you are going to be, what, tripling up that ability now that you are utilizing with your Planeswalker, so even more crazy value. And of course, yeah, you're in red, you're in white, you've got tons of ways to, you know, utilize, you know, double strike. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Duelist Heritage is another one to bring up too. Probably should have brought up that one. That's even better than Blood Mist, but still a very good card. Anyways, next up, Response Resurgence. Mostly Resurgence is what I'm focusing on here. Obviously, creatures you control gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn after this main phase, virtual combat phase, follow virtual main phase. Basically, in layman's terms, hey, yeah, first strike vigilance for your creatures, and also you get to swing twice. You get 2 combats, which means, again, hey, your commander can get 2 triggers in there. And again, if you've got, you know, double combat plus double strike, that can be 4 times the amount. I mean, just absolutely gross amounts of value that can be had with this commander when you're set up properly. So yeah, make sure you're considering double strike cards, make sure you're considering proliferate cards, make sure you're considering additional combat spells. Now, unfortunately, there's only so many budget ones. We'll get to some other ones here in a bit, though. Moving on, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. Yeah, again, just an example. Hey, if you are going to go in the direction of really, really heavy focused on certain planeswalkers, certain ones have a lot of different printings. I mean, Chandra has a ton of different iterations. This one's a really good one. 4, loyalty. 0, put a loyalty counter each red planeswalker you control. Again, if you're going full Chandra, then you're like, okay, cool. I'll get 2 loyalty counters on all my planeswalkers I control because all of them are probably Chandras, all of them are probably red. And yeah, again, if you double strike, if you get extra combats, you can make that even more to get your other Chandras to their ultimates incredibly quickly. So have fun with that. And of course, theirs get doubled up as well. Also, you can make some elementals. You can swing with them, cool. Or you can double up an instant sorcery. Or actually, no, that one's cast an instant sorcery from your graveyard. There you go. Pass for free. Regardless, a lot of fantastic things you can do with this, and doubling up any of them is going to be great. Moving on, Saheeli. There's a couple of Saheelis as well. Again, in this color combination, you get access to a lot of great planeswalkers. Saheeli has +1, scry 1 damage each opponent. That's nice. Second one is copy an artifact or creature. That's also nice. And then the third one is, hey, tutor out some artifacts. That can be game ending, of course, especially if you double that up. Go get 6 artifacts. Do some pretty gross things. And yeah, speaking of gross, Gideon, Champion of Justice, for great justice. I don't know why I always think about that. I think that's from like Diablo 3. Anyways, 4 loyalty, Gideon, 2 white, +1, put a loyalty counter on it for each creature target opponent controls. So again, if you're playing in someone with like a token deck or a go wide strategy, this can get a ton of counters on it very quickly. And again, when you're doubling that up with your commander's hit or even tripling it up, yeah, this can get to its ultimate in absolutely no time. Its 0 is basically become a creature. Cool, that's fine. -15, though, is exile all their permanents. Yeah, now that does get rid of, your commander and all your other things, but also gets rid of all of your opponent's things. This gets rid of all lands. And, hey, if you get this up to the correct amount, I mean, just a large enough amount, you are going to say, yeah, I still have a giant planeswalker that can just start hitting people, and everything's gone, including everyone's lands. So this is just like a game-winning effect. So a lot of Gideon's can be utilized as well, even though I don't think we've seen a Gideon in quite some time since Gideon, spoiler alert, from a long time ago was taken out. Anyways, Jace, Architect of Thought. Of course, you've got a lot of Jaces as well that you can pick from, some really crazy good ones as well. 4 starting loyalty, +1 till your next turn. Whenever creature control attacks, creature opponent controls attacks, -1, -0 until end of turn. So doubling that up again can just be a massive detriment again, especially for go wide strategies that might have some small tokens. Second one is basically some card advantage, and the last one is go tutor out something out of someone's library and have fun. So out of all your opponent's libraries, actually I should say, out of everyone's libraries. So that's just basically a game-ending play, and of course doubling that up to get 2 things, that's even grosser, or tripling it, yeah, have fun. Moving on, Nahiri is another planeswalker, obviously you got access to in these colors, +2, discard a card, draw a card. Doubling that up can be even more fantastic card selection. -2, exile target enchantment, target artifact or target tab creature. Plenty of great ways to remove, plenty of fantastic things, and doubling that up can be great. The third one, hey, go tutor on an artifact or creature, have fun. Goodbye, opponents. Yeah, if you've got the right build with this deck, you can do some pretty gross things, especially with an ultimate like that. Then finally, Elspeth. Of course, Elspeth is another commander that you've got access to in these colors. I just said commander. I meant planeswalker. You know what I mean. 4 starting loyalty, +2. Gain 1 life for each creature you control, so you can gain some life. Again, you might have some other commanders that can make creature tokens. This one, -2. You make 3 soldiers. Yeah, this is just kind of in combination with your commander, like, hey, make it a little army right away just for, 2 loyalty off of this. Make 6 of those, and make it -5 is going to be destroy all other permanents except for lands or tokens. So basically, that one's not going to really help if you double it up, but still, it's a great way to just wipe the board. So, yeah, some fantastic planeswalkers that you got access to, and again, many of them have a lot of different iterations, so keep that in mind. And you might just want to kind of test things out, be like, okay, how many planeswalkers do I want in the deck? Maybe like 30 or so, or 25, whatever it is. Okay, how many Jaces are there? How many Nahiris are there? How many Chandras are there? And just kind of utilizing, the ones that you really want to utilize, and trying to focus on, at least I would, the least amount of different kinds of planeswalkers, different named planeswalkers. Also, a really fun fact, the Wandering Emperor doesn't have a name apparently as a planeswalker, so you can't utilize that one. Anyways, let's move on to the pricier picks. Again, cards outside of my budget, but within your budget, some fantastic cards to consider for this commander. First up, a great one again, Seize the Day. Unfortunately, additional combat spells just went crazy price-wise. Once, I think it was like Ishin came out, they're all just like, yeah, we're now like $5 a piece. Seize the Day is a great one. Untap target creature is main phase, additional combat phase, additional main phase, flashback for 2 in a red. This one is great because with this commander, yeah, there's definitely going to be times where you really care about swinging with all your creatures, but the main focus of this deck is like you just want to get your commander through. And when you can get your commander through multiple times again, especially when you have, well, maybe double strike with that, you can do some pretty gross things with all of your Gideons or all of your Jaces, etc., etc. Moving on, Berserker's Onslaught. Speaking of double strike, Wizards reprint this. This card has never been reprinted. It is a fantastic card, and I love it. Wizards, what are you doing? Enchantment for 5 mana, attacking creatures you control, double strike again. Double strike, you care most about that when you are attacking. Sure, it's nice when you're blocking, but this commander really just cares about attacking, cares about getting through, cares about hitting, and cares about doubling up that trigger. So yeah, Berserker's Onslaught is incredible. Speaking of incredible, Inexorable Tide. I really wish this card would be reprinted. Maybe it was recently. I don't know. Anyways, it's not very budget friendly for me at least. $12 or so right now. Enchantment for 5 mana. Whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. Gross. Yeah, in a Planeswalker tribal deck, you are going to want to utilize a card like this a lot because, hey, you can get your Planeswalkers or ultimates in absolutely no time by just casting spell after spell after spell, and then getting your Planeswalkers there, and then doubling up those ultimates with your amazing commander. Next up, another Planeswalker to consider is going to be Jessica Thrice Reborn. I guess this can be a commander, but not in this case if it's in the deck of this, brand new commander. I'm losing track of things. Anyways, 0 loyalty. Enters the battlefield with a loyalty countout for each time you cast a commander for the commands on this game, so keep that in mind. 0 though, choose target creature until your next turn. If that creature would deal combat damage to one of your opponents, deals triple that damage instead. Lovely. Double that up, have fun. Also, minus X deals X damage up to 3 targets. Yes, some pretty gross things can happen with this one. So definitely, if you want to kind of just throw in some kind of crazy ones like this that might not have a lot of different iterations, that's okay too. So just keep that in mind. Moving on, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Yeah, there's also a lot of very, very powerful Teferis. 4-star loyalty, +1, draw a card at the beginning of the next end step, untap 2 lands. So doubling that up equals, hey, even more free mana. Lovely. -3 per target non-land permanent until owner's library, third from the top. Great thing to double up as well. -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent opponent controls. Correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong on that, but I believe if you double that up, you still would get 2 emblems, right? And then that's just gross because whenever you're drawing cards, you're exiling 2 permanents. Lovely. You also, of course, have access to Tezzeret. Many of the Tezzerets are actually decently expensive, so yeah, most of them are going to be pricier picks. 4-star loyalty, +1 untap to 2 artifacts. Yeah, if you've got a lot of mana rocks, cool, let's just untap those. And then do it again thanks to this commander's trigger. -X, go get an artifact out of your library, get it right into play. Doubling that up can be great as well. -5, a good finisher for you as well. Doubling this up won't help you. All your artifacts come 5/5s. Yeah, doubling that up is not going to help you, but that's okay. Moving on, Morog, Fury of Akum. This one, not a Planeswalker, but a fantastic card to consider. One that says, you know what, I'm also legendary, and I really care about, well, attacking more, which this commander, of course, cares about attacking more. Now, first up, each creature you control gets +1/0 for each time an attack this turn. That's nice, an extra little pump effect, but more importantly, landfall, extra combats essentially, so have fun with that. Being able to say, oh, I got a, Volleying Wilds to play. Cool, I'll crack it. Get 2 extra combats, double up your commander's trigger, and yeah, just have a really fun time. And of course, some more expensive Planeswalkers, mana value-wise. Karn Liberate, an incredible one. +4, target player exiles a card from their hand. Doubling that up is just mean, rude, awful, awesome. -3, exile target permanent. Doubling that up, also awful and awesome. -14 though, hey, restart the game, and then everything goes away, and then you get all the exile things, and then have fun and you win. That's basically what this one is. But yeah, being able to essentially, well, doubling that up, that doesn't really matter, but still, being able to help yourself against other effects, getting to that ultimate quicker can be huge. Finally, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, a fantastic card as well. +2, 3 damage to any target. Basically, a lightning bolt. Doubling up can be great. Again, take out an even bigger creature or Planeswalker or whatnot, or just take out 2 things, or just ping it opponent's face, because that's fun. -X, get rid of a permanent. That's X or less, it's one or more colors. And then -10, gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, put a 7 permanent cards to your hand on the battlefield. Kind of a game-winning play right there. And doubling that up, of course, can be gross. So yeah, overall, a very interesting brand new commander. One that, yeah, I think a lot of players out there are going to be pretty excited about. Again, in the 99 of Superfriend's decks, and also just, yeah, as a commander, and saying, you know what, I'm going to play, like, a Chandra tribal deck. I'm going to play a Gideon tribal deck with a splash of Jace or whatnot. And of course, the more and more time passes, as long as Wizards doesn't, take out every single Planeswalker, then you're going to be able to get more and more versions of Planeswalkers, and this commander is just going to become more and more powerful and more focused. So I think it's a pretty interesting commander, and one I think has a lot of longevity to it because of that. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you are interested in this commander, make sure you check out that card listing in the description below. And of course, as always, well, stay tuned to this channel for more exciting quick takes and spoilers. And as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.